All right, Hosea 12 and 10. Oh, that's not mine.
Put it back.
Yeah, I didn't realize that because I got this
Name
one.
was better from.
Yeah, I put it back where I got it from. Complete it. This is where I thought it from.
No.
I don't like that yellow. That green, I can't highlight the whole verse. Kind of bleeds. Hosea 12 and 10. You can't come up here, Stanks. Calm down, Tizzy. I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. Now, I had a dude I know made a post like this. I'm going to ask y'all a question. How many of y'all have ever heard that Satan had sex with Eve and that's where Cain came from? You know what I'm saying? Well, you know, we had went, how many of y'all remember when we went through this about that genealogy in Genesis 5? How many of y'all remember that? I want y'all to look at 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 1. This is the only reason why we doing this. I got the wager that Kip can't be the only person who remember that. You remember when we looked at that genealogy in Genesis chapter 5? Here's Tizzy Lizzy. Cute little baby. Hello, Leah. Cute little baby. This second epistle, beloved, I now write unto you, both which I stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance, that you may be mindful of the words which were spoken before by the Kodesh prophets, and of the commandments of us, the apostles of the Lord and Savior. So this is why we're going to revisit some of these things and that there, because we need to stir up your minds by remembrance of the things that's written in the law and the prophets. Because a lot of people are dumb as a box of rocks. Now I'm going to ask y'all a question. Didn't we already deal with how Adam was not made to live forever? That seems to be a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. I don't see why. I don't understand why. It ain't that deep. If the man wasn't made to live forever, he wasn't made to live forever. You know, what's so hard about that? But let's go back to something in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. I want to ask y'all a question. Anybody know what the word dominion means? Because somebody put it there. Yeah, it means to rule over. Absolutely. So when we made reference to somebody that Adam had rule over the whole earth, they seem to get in a little tipsy. Dominion means to rule. And I'm like, you stupid nigga, you don't realize that means the same thing. Genesis 1 and 26, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creep upon the earth. Leave it alone. And God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he them, male and female created he them. So we sit back looking at it. This man just gave this man dominion over every animal on the earth and the entire earth. Who else got that ability but God? What man have you ever read in this book that had dominion over everything? I'm talking about, obviously God got dominion over everything. Who else got that dominion but God? He said, give him dominion over everything. Let's look at Psalm 73. Psalm 73, probably about verse 5. Psalm 73 and about verse 5. 72, actually. My apologies. 72 and 1. I'll just look at verse 1. And we're going to see, we've looked at this before, but we just going to see what the lick reads. Give the king thy judgments, O God, thy righteousness unto the king's son. This is a psalm for Solomon. That's what it says on the top. Any of y'all looking in y'all scriptures. Do you see at the top of Psalm 72 it says Psalm for Solomon? You don't say that?
It's that same book.
Just ruin the whole effect. Everybody, anybody else y'all say that?
Same book. Of course it's gonna say it.
You know what I'm saying? Okay then. So if it's a song for Solomon and he's saying, give thy judgments, O God, and thy righteousness unto the king's son, then who wrote this song then?
Papa.
David had to write it. So let's go look at 1 Chronicle chapter 22 then, just on general principle. First Chronicles 22:5. And David said, Solomon, my son, is young and tender, and the house that is to be builded for Yah must be exceeding magnificent, of fame and of glory throughout all countries. I will therefore now make preparation for it. So David prepared abundantly before his death. Then he called for Solomon his son and charged him to build a house for Yah, Elohim of Israel. And David said to Solomon, my son, as for me, it was in my mind to build a house unto the name of Yah my God. But the word of Yah came unto me, saying, thou hast shed blood abundantly, and hast made great wars. Thou shalt not build a house unto my name, because thou hast shed much blood upon the earth in my sight. Behold, a son shall be born to thee, who shall be a man of rest. I will give him rest from all his enemies round about. For his name shall be Solomon, and I will give peace and quietness unto Israel in his days. He shall build a house for my name. He shall be my son, and I will be his father. I will establish the throne of his kingdom over Israel forever. Now, if he just sat back and he said, give the judgments. Do y'all remember what we read at? Where he gave judgments unto the king's son and righteousness unto the king's son. Do y'all remember what we can read that at? Y'all got to take into account, it's still going to tie back to Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Because for all intents and purposes, Adam is the king's son. And judgments and righteousness were given unto him too. Y'all understand? Y'all hear me? Y'all all right? So do y'all remember what we can read where David gave judgments unto his son and righteousness unto his son? You just actually heard where he gave righteousness to his son in 1 Chronicles 22. But we're going to show you again how he gave. This is bringing stuff to your remembrance that you already seen. Where do you read where the king gave judgments unto his son? Who remember where it's at? Y'all need to be moving your mind. Y'all got to know this stuff. In 1 Kings chapter 2, didn't David give judgment to his son to what to do with his enemies? Didn't he give him that same righteousness in that same chapter 1 when he told him to make his throne greater than mine? Now let's sit back and see if judgment was given unto Adam back in Genesis chapter 1. Let's just see if judgment was given unto him. Let's see if righteousness was given unto him. Now we already read how dominion was given unto him. Let's look in verse 28 of Genesis chapter 1. And after we read down and complete that chapter, we'll drop down to Genesis chapter 2 and we'll pick it up at verse 19. Hey, you got to wait. This ain't the time. This is not the time. You know what I'm saying? And God, it don't matter. They can click in, but this ain't the time. It's one thing if we just talking, but once we hit the clock, it's time to roll. Verse 28. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion, and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air. And listen, and every living thing that move on the earth. So what is this replenishing of the earth that he's talking about? Well, let's see. And God said, behold, I give you every green herb, every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth. And every tree, which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed to you, it shall be for me. And every beast on the earth and every fowl of the air, and everything that creep upon the earth wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. And God saw that everything that he had made, behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. Now let me ask y'all a question. What do you think this means if he's giving him dominion over the fish of the sea, and then he's giving you a herb bearing seed, and in the which is a fruit of a tree yielding seed, which will give you meat? How can this pertain to judgment and righteousness then? Anybody got an idea how this can pertain to judgment and righteousness? Well, let's look at Revelation chapter 2. Let's look at, you got to sit back and see how this is going to pertain to righteousness. Let's look at Revelation chapter 2. Pick me up by verse 7. Listen what he's going to tell you. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit say unto the synagogues. To him that overcome will I give to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of God. He said, if you overcome, 1 John chapter 5, verse 4. He said, if you overcome, he'll give you the tree of life, right? I want y'all keep that in mind. We know the tree of life was in the midst of the garden, way back in Genesis, what we looking at. Follow me now. 1 John chapter 5, verse 4. Let's see what he say. For whatsoever is born of God overcome the world. And this is the victory that overcome the world, even our faith. He said, give to the king's son righteousness. Who is he that overcome the world, but he that believed that Yahshua is the Son of God? So who else could give the Son? Who could give Yahshua this righteousness but the Father? Who could give him that? Well, let's look at 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 30, and let's see what Paul told us about this. And then after that, we're going to look in Romans chapter 3. Pick me up by about verse 29, if I'm not mistaken. We're still going to come back to Genesis chapter 2, verse 19 to show you how Adam was given judgment in the garden, because the king's son was given judgment then. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 30. But of him are ye in the Messiah Yahshua, who of God is made unto us wisdom, and righteousness, and sanctification, and redemption, that according as it is written, he that glory, let him glory in the Lord. So now we turn it around and we seeing something. Paul just said this man was made unto us righteousness. We just looked at a few weeks back on this very same topic. Oh, Lizzie, cut it, Joe. Cut it out, Lizzie. Hold on, man. Lizzie going crazy. Man, go on, give her that binky, man. She smell food, you ain't brought none? She ain't feeling that. Now, we just looked at what does righteousness say, what we read in the law. Matthew chapter 23, well, since it's in my mind. We still holding Genesis chapter 2, verse 19. I mentioned it to you before we started. I guess we go ahead and look at it. Matthew 23 and 23. Listen what he tell these men. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you pay tithe of mint and an cumin, and have omitted the weighty matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought you to have done, and not to leave the other undone. So, is he telling you not to do all the law and focus on these three matters, or he telling you to do everything? What do you think? You've been a real Nancy boy right now. Romans 3 and 28. Poop in his lap, Liz. Poop in his lap, Lizzie, so he can change your diaper. Poop in his lap, Lizzie. Romans 3 and 28. Matter of fact, back me up. About 25. Romans 3 and 25. Let's listen to what Paul tells us. Whom God hath sent forth, we'll make it 24. Being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in the Messiah Yahshua, whom God hath set forth to be a propitiation through faith in his blood, to declare his righteousness for the remission of sins that are past through the forbearance of God. To declare, I say, at this time his righteousness, that he might be just. Listen what he say, and the justifier of him which believes. Where is boasting then? Is it excluded? By what law? Of works? Nay, but by the law of faith. Therefore, we conclude that a man is justified by faith without the deeds of the law. Before we started, we already read on that. Noah was justified with God without the deeds of the law. Wasn't it? Abraham was justified by faith without the deeds of the law. Even Jacob was. Even Jacob was. They showed you that when he wrestled with the angel. He was justified right then. That's when he became Israel. That's when his name got changed. He said, I laid down, went to sleep, see angels descending and ascending. I mess around and wrestle with an angel. I say, man, you gonna bless me. He say, man, your name ain't Jacob no more. Your name is Israel, but as a prince, thou hast power with God. We sitting back, turning around, looking at, we seeing Adam. He's a prince because he's the king's son, and he's got power with God because he got power over everything that creep on the earth. Everything. We know it's only one other man got that type of rule or authority, right? Let's go back to Genesis 2 and 19. Because somebody sat back and said, how can you say Adam God? Real easy. Read the book, you idiot. It's right there. What regular man you ever read about in this book had power over the beasts, the fowls, everything in the sea, and everything on earth? He didn't just say, he said give him dominion. That means give him rule. And if he got rule, that means, let's see what he say. What man had this power? Genesis 2 and 19. And out of the ground Yah formed every beast of the field, every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. Revelation chapter 3. He said whatever he called that living creature, that was his name. So guess what that means? You ain't got no business giving yourself no Hebrew name. God ain't gave you that name, silly nigga. You gave yourself that name. Where we at here? Revelation chapter 3. Make sure I got the verse I want. Make sure I got the verse I want. It's in my head. Got to remember which one it is. 3 and 12. I appreciate it. Revelation 3 and 12. No, that ain't what I want. That when he tell you, he say, oh yeah, there we go. He'll write upon him the name of God. That ain't what I want. Right here, Revelation 2 and 17. That's what I want. Oh, hold on, y'all. Conference call dropped. I gotta call it back. Gotta call it back. All right, y'all. Call dropped me off. Revelation 2 and 17. It dropped me off. Revelation 2 and 17. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the synagogues. To him that overcome will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and I will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man know, saving he that received it. Now, if you overcame, wouldn't that make you a living creature? What you say? Now, if you overcame, how did you become a living creature? Well, I mean, before you even ate of the tree of life to become of a living creature, you had to eat his flesh. Which means you had to die with him. Which means you had to go in the grave with him. Which means you had to come up. We ain't even got it. That's what said Paul. Yeah, because he said it'd be a tree for me. We'll go back to somebody. Come on, man. Y'all hitting your phone buttons. Do you nigga pay attention to what y'all be doing? How you hold the phone to your ear? Come on, man. You got the phone on your ear slobbing on it? Now remember in John chapter 15, he said he the true vine, or he would be that tree. In order for him to be a vine, you got to plant a seed in the ground, because he said every herb bearing seed. We done been through this before. We know what that Psalms 104 said, if I'm not mistaken. I give the herb for me. Y'all remember that? Now you just read, well, y'all say I formed every beast out the dust of the earth and took it to Adam and see what he was going to name it. And now you turn around and see the Messiah telling you, I'm going to give you a name. I'm going to bring him to you, and I'm going to name you. That's God right there. Come on back to Genesis chapter 2. Verse 20. These niggas dumb as a box of rock. Nigga coming at me, how is he God? Read the book and find out, nigga. Tell me what you find out. Oh, you reaching. He ain't God. If he ain't God, the book of life. Dumb nigga, when he say the first and second Adam. And Adam gave names to all the cattle and to all the fowl of the air and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helpmeet for him. So You mean to tell me he ain't God, but he got power to name all the animals, and he got rule and dominion over all the animals, but he ain't God though. And you notice it was one person missing in this whole equation, Eve, and now she about to be made. And then she turned around and said, God have said we shouldn't eat of this tree. So we know who told her that, because y'all didn't tell it to her. That means Adam told it to her. Guess what that means though? Who else told you and came to your face and told Eve not to sin? He told you that on the mountain in Exodus chapter 20. Adam came down, or God came down to his wife and told her, don't do this right here or you will die. Oh man, y'all ain't know that. Say God spake all these words. I am Yah thy God. That means he came down to Eve and told her, you better not do this. And guess what Israel was when he was doing it? Dead quiet, silent. Because their husband was speaking. He was teaching her. Who else gonna teach her? God had to teach her this. You got to remember, Eve is a similitude of Israel. God taught her the way. Who taught Israel the way? God taught it to you. Oh man. Oh. Come on, let's look at Romans 5 and 14 and let's just see what that man say about Adam and the Messiah. Make it verse 12. Man, these niggas be all so crossed up, then they get mad at you because they don't know what they talking about. Don't get mad at me because you don't know what you talking about. Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned. For unto the law sin was in the world, but the sin is not imputed when there is no law. Nevertheless, death reigned from Adam to Moses over them that had not sinned after the similitude of Adam's transgression, who is the figure of him that was to come. So let's swing it back around here to Psalm 73. So that means Adam was a figure of the Messiah. Paul just sat back and told you. So I mean, everything dealing with Adam gonna go to the Messiah. Wouldn't we be confident enough to make that statement? We should have enough confidence to be able to make that statement and know that we would be speaking the truth when we say that. So now we just sat back and seen because he just said judgment. He told Adam, whatever you name this stuff, man, that's what his name gonna be. Because judgment been given into your hand. And for him to do it, that means righteousness had to be given in his hand. I still got to come back to that herb bearing seed and that tree of life. Just bear with me, because I got something to go with it. Psalm 72 and 2. He shall judge thy people with righteousness and thy poor with judgment. The mountain shall bring peace to the people, and the little hills by righteousness. He shall judge the poor of the people. He shall save the children of the needy, and shall break in pieces the oppressor. They shall fear thee as long as the sun and moon endure throughout all generations. He shall come down like rain upon the mown grass, as showers that water the earth. In his days shall the righteous flourish in abundance of peace, so long as the moon endure. And he shall have dominion also from sea to sea, and from the river unto the ends of the earth. Did Solomon have rule and dominion over the whole earth? You know what I'm saying? He had dominion over the borders of which Yah gave him. He didn't have dominion over the whole earth, though. You're reading right here in Psalm 72, he told him he give him dominion from sea to sea. This over the whole, then he say from the river unto the ends of the earth. Solomon didn't have rule over the whole earth. But guess what? But Adam did, though. And this is a song for Solomon, and he asked for the judgment and the dominion and the righteousness to be given unto the king's son. So it will only make sense that the father would turn around and do it with his son to give him the same dominion he gave to Adam. Let's go over here and let's look at that in Colossians chapter 1. And after that, I suppose Revelation chapter 22. And I'm going to look at Zechariah 14. Let's just see how that works. You just see how that works. Let's just see if this man got rule over everything. Because I'm not sure. Colossians chapter 1, about verse 15. Make it 13. Who have delivered us from the power of darkness and have translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son, whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins, who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature. We just read how Adam was in the express image of his person and was the firstborn of everything that Yah had made when it pertains to man. For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in the earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him. Now we know Adam didn't create all things, but everything was created for Adam. You just heard it. Everything was created for Adam. He made it for him. And he is before all things, and by him all things consist. He is the head of the body. You already heard he was the head of Eve, because your desire shall be to your husband. Well, you didn't hear it, but y'all know that. He's the head of Eve. The synagogue, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things he might have preeminent. When we look at Adam, he is the beginning when it comes to man. In essence, he is the firstborn from the dead because he was created from the dust of the earth. Because if you don't sit back and look at, he formed him out of clay, and then he breathed into him and made him a living soul. Just like the Messiah was in the grave, made as clay, and he breathed in him and made him a quickening spirit. That in all things he might have preeminence. When we look at Adam, when it pertains to man and only man, didn't he have preeminence? For it pleased the Father that in him should all fullness dwell. Y'all said it was good that he gave Adam all this stuff, didn't it? He said it was good. So how these men can't see these parallels that Adam is God? You know, ain't much mentioned about it. Once you get finished with Genesis chapter 5, ain't no more talking about Adam. Adam don't even make much of an appearance in Genesis chapter 4. Adam ain't first mentioned by name till Genesis chapter 2. But you really start dealing with Adam from Genesis 1 and 26, from all the way through the completion of Genesis chapter 3, and the first 4 verses of Genesis chapter 5, and that's it for Adam. And that's it. Now we sitting back looking at this man gave this man all this authority, all their power, all their rule. How could you not see that he was God? This man had power over the sea. We done looked at this stuff before. The Messiah was able to tell the winds, be still. Because he had rule over it. He had dominion over it. The Messiah walking on water, meaning he had dominion over it. He had rule over it. That's what dominion means, to have power and rule over that. I can tell the wind stop blowing, it stop. I can tell the waves to stop going, they stop. I can tell the animals go and they go. Let's look at Romans chapter 8 since I said it, because it's got it in my mind. I mean, Matthew chapter 8. What that centurion said. This man, I'm glad you said that. This man going to come back with a shout and everybody going to get up out their graves. That's not power over every living creature. Matthew 8 and 5. When Yahshua was entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion beseeching him, and saying, Lord, my servant lie at home, sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. Yahshua said unto him, I will come heal him. The centurion answered and said, Lord, I'm not worthy that thou should come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. For I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. I say to this man, go, and he go, and to another, come, and he come. And to my servant, do this, and he do it. When Yahshua heard it, he marveled, and said to them that followed, Truly, I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel. See, that's it back. You looking at, he told Adam ain't to name the animals, and he named them. The only thing Adam didn't obey in is what? It's not a hard question. What's the only thing Adam ain't obeying? He ate of the tree. But whatever y'all told Adam to do, he did it. Same thing with Yahshua. He said, my Father has given me a commandment, what I should say and what I should speak. I know his commandment is life everlasting because he tells me to go and I go. He tells me to do and I do. That's the same mind you got to have. 1 Peter 4:1. That's the same mind you got to have. See, that's your victory, your faith, because you would actually believe that there was a benefit of you going to do it. Like I told that young man this afternoon, you think because you keeping a Sabbath, don't eat no swine and shrimps, you doing something? You don't have to have any faith to do that. After that, Romans chapter 11. Romans 9. For as much then as the Messiah hath suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that suffered in the flesh hath ceased from sin, that he should no longer live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lusts of men, but to the will of God. If you were willing to suffer in your flesh, that means when God say go, you would go. And when God say do, you would do. Which means you wouldn't be coming up with 1,001 reasons to try to figure out why you should do something that's outside the will of God when you know you ain't got no business doing it. So that actually means you actually don't believe God. Because you actually don't believe there's a reward for you forsaking that. Like I told you on Pentecost, when I asked y'all that question, because it was based off when I talked to them young women on the Sabbath. Who you think got to give up more, men or women? See, women always gonna think men got to give up more because women almost by nature are selfish creatures because they only care about what they want. And when they can't get what they want somebody to sympathize with them about what they want. See, men don't look at it like that. If I gotta stop, I gotta stop. Ain't no belly aching or why I can't do this or why I can't do that. When you see a man doing that, that means that nigga sit down to pee. I'm be dead honest with you. Because I told y'all on Pentecost, everybody got to give something up. Everybody got to give something up. So the things you got to give up on the outside, it's some things nigga got to give up on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Y'all won't sit back and realize that. I told y'all that. The book say every man know the plague of his own heart. So if it's plaguing you to wear makeup and jewelry, it might be plaguing another man that he cuss or he lie or he lust. Then some of y'all some of you women got, I can't wear jewelry and makeup, and you got lust, lying, and maliciousness and pride in you too to go along with it. You know what I'm saying? You got some men, it's a hard deal for them to swallow. I done seen grown men kick and scream out they can't wear Nike. We ain't worshiping it. I ain't worshiping it. But that's outward appearance, same thing. He still got to get that up. And you be like, it ain't no big deal, it's just shoes. Well, somebody look at you, it ain't no big deal, it's just jewelry. It ain't no big deal, it's just makeup. The same thing could be thrown right back in your face. Men ain't got no business walking around here with no chains and no earrings in their ear. Same way y'all don't. So I don't know what the problem is. And any grown man that wear makeup, we already know he a certified faggot. You know what I'm saying? Certified. I'm talking. That go without saying. Grown man walk the street with makeup on, you know he gay.
Yeah, so that's what you get.
You know what I'm saying? This is what I be wanting you to understand. Ain't nobody giving up no more than what anybody else got to give up.
That's right.
Ain't nobody giving up no more than what everybody got to give up. Every man know the plague of his own heart. Y'all know in Luke chapter 9 what the Messiah told you. Take up your cross and follow me. That means whatever thing you got to give up, whatever you got to endure, you got to do that. Everybody don't got the same sin. Y'all do know that, right? Yeah, I'm sitting here telling y'all something. It's some of y'all that ain't had no problem with not lusting. And it's some of y'all's lust and sex would have been the death of you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Running after vagina and penis, that'd be the death of you. Some people, they ain't had no problem with that. That wasn't the issue for them. Lusting was not a problem for them. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all ain't had no problem with drinking. Other people did though. Well, you know what I'm saying? Some of y'all ain't had no problem with smoking marijuana. Others did though. Some of y'all ain't had no problem with lying. Some of you niggas will tell a lie sure as the sunshine. You know what I'm saying? So you have to sit back and look at that. When you sit around and you always looking at, oh, this person got to get this up. They got to get this up. I'm telling you, because that's how women think. Women always look at, I got it harder. We got it harder. Women got it harder. Ain't nobody got it no harder than the next. Because I know this here, the same responsibilities you say women got, I guarantee you don't want the responsibilities a man got to carry. I know full well don't none of y'all want to stand up and lead no nation and stand in no gap. You ain't built for it. Because see, don't nobody want to talk about that. That don't diminish what a woman got to do, but nobody want to talk about that. I know you women can't speak at this particular time. How many of y'all would want to stand up and deal with shame and get spit on, disrespected, name called, nigga want to kill you, all because you telling them the truth and you doing it because you love them. You know what I'm saying? And you got to stand firm. And you got to stand firm. And you got to put the whole family on your back. I gotta feed and provide everybody. Don't nobody care how hard it is for you. Don't damn nigga want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Do what you gotta do, get it done, nigga. Cause that's how men been taught. Don't nobody want to hear that, nigga. Men ain't even got to be taught that. It's just natural. Nobody want to hear that. Suck it up and handle it, nigga. You know why men talk that? Cause we know everybody got a burden they carrying, man. Niggas got their own stuff. They don't want to hear about yours. You know what I'm saying? Not unless you coming to bring a solution to the table. Because niggas sitting back looking at it. Nigga, I got all this stuff on my table, nigga, and you think I want to hear you crying. But see, women don't look at it that way. They look at it, I got all this stuff I got to do and I got to carry. Well, welcome to a man's world. That's why a lot of women be like this here. I need to find me a husband. You don't hear men saying, I need to find me a wife to take care of me. And if you say, yeah, they do, it's a lot of men out here like that. That's because they not men. That nigga's up, he sits down to pee. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't gonna find no man do that. He gonna carry that cross. Why you think he's showing you this here, man? It's about responsibility. Remember David, he said the government will be on his shoulder. You can't hide. You know what I'm talking about? The government gonna be on his shoulder. He saw rest was good, and he bowed down his shoulder to bear. Because he was willing to carry that responsibility. You got to be willing to bear that responsibility. That's why he say bear your cross to suffer in the flesh. You got to be willing to bear that responsibility. You didn't hear the Messiah complain damn time about what he had to go do. Damn time. And if he did, who was going to care? Oh, man, I got to die for y'all, man. They going to spit on me, man. They going to beat me, man. You know what the disciple would have looked at? Ain't you been teaching us that what they got to do to you? Yeah, I did tell you that. Well, suck it up then and get it done. Sit there and think about it like that. You know how much confidence and faith you got to have in God to go do that? I know people going to spit on me, beat me, stab me, kick me, lie on me, and you want to go do it? And you want to go do it? Come on around here to Job. That's complete confidence. That's complete confidence. That's a confidence that surpasses all understanding of man. That's why he told him to get a righteousness unto the king's son. He said, who we gonna send? He say, send me. Job 39. I pick it up by verse 3. No, I'll pick it up about verse 5. Who have sent out the wild ass free? Or who have loosed the bands of the wild ass? Whose house I've made the wilderness, and the barren land in its dwellings. He scorned the multitude of the city, neither regard he the crying of the driver. The range of his mountains is his pasture, and he searched after every green thing. Now, what y'all think about this? Still gonna tie back. I still ain't finished with that Genesis chapter 1 with that barren seed and that tree. What you think this could mean? What we reading here? What Job is? What Yah is actually saying to Job here? Anybody? He said, who has sent him out? Who sent this donkey out for free? Who loosed the bands of the wild donkey? What comes to your mind when you hear that? Leah.
First Samson came to mind, and then
You say when he released them firebrands, huh?
yeah, and it came like.
Are you talking about when he broke them bands?
Yeah.
Job 39. You talking about when he broke the bands?
Yeah.
Let's look at Judges 15. You right though.
Yeah.
By break the bands, but then you got to remember what's in Acts.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
There you go.
I was gonna say Acts. I was about to say I know the Lord.
There you go. Judges 15, y'all. There you go. Now let's look at Judges 15 and about 3.
And this on camera too. God, dog. Let's see how they do.
Leah, sit down somewhere.
This is all day event too.
Trust me, I know. Because when she got a chance, she do me like that. And Samson said concerning them, now shall I be more blameless than the Philistines, though I do them a displeasure. And Samson went and caught 300 foxes, and took firebrands, and turned tail to tail, and put a firebrand in the midst between two tails. And when he set the brands on fire, he let them go in the standing of the corn of the Philistines, and burnt up both the shocks and also the standing corn with the vineyards and the olives. Now listen what he said. Now we looking at, he say, who let the donkey free? Now we obviously know these foxes ain't donkeys. But you see how he say he took them and put them tail to tail. So if they tail to tail, that mean they like this here, right? So then he said, where did he say the firebrand was? In the middle. Why is that important then? Because that's what the Lord was, wasn't it? Crucified between two thieves. But then he said, what did he say this firebrand did? He said it burnt up everything, right? Look at 1 Corinthians chapter 3. Notice that he said that firebrand burnt up everything, right? The vineyards, the olive yard, everything, right? 1 Corinthians chapter 3, about verse 9. Y'all all right? So guess what it means? When this man come back here, I got something else for this here about that burning. Because he said give him judgment to the king's son, right? And he gave judgment to Adam too, right? Showing he was God, right? I didn't want to make sure now. I didn't want to make sure now. Because when we run it down, I don't want nobody to say we reaching. That stinking hoe. I don't know what Chelsea over here, your stinking friend finally deleted me. And I said, thank the Lord. I told that stinking slut that Adam was God, you know what this $2 hoe did? That's what I call her. She a spiritual whore. She a spiritual whore. You know what I'm saying? I don't take her for the type of woman sling a monkey anywhere, but she's a spiritual whore. When I say spiritual whore, because she always run around trying to teach something, trying to usurp authority on man, thinking in Facebook, you don't know what you talking about. You dumb nigga talking about God smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? But when I told this nigga made a post, oh, I heard a new one. Somebody said Adam was God, laugh out loud and all that other stuff. And I just let her know, I see you. I say laugh out loud. It's a shame your understanding is horrible. Kept it moved. No debates about how Adam was God. Just let you know I'm laughing at how stupid you are. I didn't want you to know I know you stupid. Because I actually gave you book to show you he was God. And you couldn't see it saying I was reaching because you stupid. I didn't want you to know that I know you stupid. You know what I'm saying? I seen where you and Denzel were going back and forth with Jitterbug. Man, I've been to let that nigga alone. I wouldn't even dignify that nigga with a response. I just put an emoji up with the deuces. Every time he say something, peace out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I wouldn't urinate on you to put you out if you was on fire. I go get a big bucket of water and pour that on you. Because I want to make sure maybe you might drown. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to have enough urine come out my bladder. I want to get a big old bucket because maybe you might drown. No. You know what I'm saying? I say that there because stupid niggas who around here subverting people's faith, they ought to be killed. They ought to be killed. I don't care if that nigga don't like that I said it. You ought to be killed. Around here trying to overthrow people's faith. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is, like that dude told me this afternoon, you imposing your beliefs on me. If I'm imposing your beliefs on you, that means every time I see you, I'm saying this to you. You called me. I made an offer for you to call me and you called. You ain't got to believe nothing I say. I personally don't care if you believe it. You know what I'm saying? I'm being honest though. Not that I don't care, but I don't care. You know what I'm talking about? It would be great if you believed it, but I ain't gonna lose no sleep if you don't. I ain't gonna be like, boy, I gotta get that nigga to believe this. I'm gonna deal with that nigga every day till he believe it. Oh man, I ain't on that type of time. You don't believe it, you don't believe it. Yeah, it is what it is. I care less. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can care less. You know that. You know I don't care if a nigga believe it or not. I'm gonna go hard now while I'm talking to you because I love you. You know what I'm talking about? But once I'm done with you, it's over. And I ain't gonna run behind you and call you back and be like, bro, let me break it down to you again. Shoot, nigga, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I done told you one time, nigga, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. I'm good. Nigga, hey man, nigga, I don't chase behind them, nigga. About nothing. Screw it, nigga. Fall in the ditch and die, bastard. That's all I can tell you. I hope you break your neck in 17 places when you hit the ground, too. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Nigga be mad at me. Nigga be like, man, how could you say that? You ain't got no love in your heart. I got plenty love in my heart. God say, hey, man, those are your enemy. They my enemy, too. I hate them with a perfect hatred. You hate God, I hate you, too, nigga. Whatever God see fit to do to you, I hope he do it times 10, too. You know what I'm talking about? He see fit for you to die and drown, nigga. I say, I hope you get extra water in your lungs. I'm talking about if your lung can only hold 52 ounces of water, I hope you can hold 75. You know, that's how I feel. He like it, I love it. You know what I'm talking about? He see fit for you to die, I say thank the Lord. He see fit for you to stay alive, I say thank the Lord. He see fit to save your soul and you repent, I say thank the Lord. He see fit for you to burn in hell with worms, I say thank the Lord. His judgments is righteous and true altogether. That's how I feel. Take it how you want to take it. Ain't that right, Tizzy Lizzie? Lizzie says, of course. Lizzie said, of course. Lizzie said, I can't even talk in full sentences, and I believe the book. And ran off with joy. 1 Corinthians 3:9. For we are laborers together with God, and ye are his husbandry. Ye are God's building, according to the grace of God, which is given unto me as a wise master builder. I have laid my foundation. So hold on, I'm sorry, is that what it said? I've laid the foundation, and another build thereon, but let every man take heed how he build thereupon. For other foundation can no man lay that is laid, which is Yahshua the Messiah. Now if any man build upon this foundation gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, stubble, every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire tries every man's work of what sort it is. If any man's work abide, which he hath built thereupon, he shall receive a reward. If any man's work shall be burnt, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire. Now let's go back to Judges 15. Let's see if he burned up these people's stuff and they took a loss and it showed what type of work it was. Let's see how they felt when everything got burnt up. And I'm still going to take you and show this talking about the Messiah in another way. You reading Long Live? Leah done stole the book from her daddy and she reading. And he just reached for the book and she just took it on the other side. I'm reading over here, Pops. Fall back. So when we read verse 5, he said, when he set the brands on fire, he let them go in the standing corn of the Philistines and burnt up both the shocks and also the standing corn in the vineyards and the olives. And the Philistines said, who had done this? And they answered, Samson, the son-in-law of the Timonite, because he had taken his wife and given her to his companion. The Philistines came up and burnt her and her father with fire. And Samson said unto them, though you have done this, yet I will be avenged of you, and after that I will cease. So when this firebrand, knowing the Messiah was in the midst, and he was a burning lamp, like you read in Genesis 15, and like we talked about on Pentecost, I came to baptize with fire and the Ruach HaKodesh. That means he came to burn up your work to see what type of work it was. When he burnt these people up, these people seen they wanted to kill him now. Then they took his wife and her dad and killed him. So it showed what manner of work it was. And what ended up happening to these Philistines, they ended up being killed in the end, didn't they? He said, I'll be avenged of you. Come on back to Job. We got to deal with the judgment. Because the only person can execute judgment is God, right? Can't nobody else offer no judgment but God. Can't nobody else offer no judgment but God. And yet but yet we can see Adam rendering in judgment. Let me see, it's something else in Job. I got to get back on round up to it. Give me a second. Job chapter 40. Where's it at? What I want. I just was looking at it. It just was in my mind. Job 41. No, back to Job 41, because we dealing with this fire.
Is it 49?
No, it's not 49.
That's definitely got highlighted over here.
Yeah, it was something I was dealing with the other day. To get around to it. Job 41. I did. Yeah, because I didn't have mine. Job 41 and 18. By his neesings a life doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils go smoke, as out of a seething pot or cauldron. His breath kindle coals, and a flame go out of his mouth. Why is that important? When we see Samson got a firebrand that burnt up everything the Philistines had. Now we see Job say, this is talking about the Leviathan. So niggas will say this ain't talking about none of that. See, because we can actually back this up and show you this the Messiah. Look at verse 3. Just look at verse 3. Listen what he say. Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Now let me ask y'all a question. You think a Leviathan can talk? A Leviathan. It's a creature that people would akin to a dragon. It's not a dragon, but basically, you ever heard of Loch Ness Monster? They'll try to say something similar to that. I mean, that's the best visual description I could give. Now listen what he say. Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Will thou take him for a servant forever? Will thou play with him as with a bird? Or will thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Listen what he just asked you now. Look at the things what we're just looking at. So we can make sure. So if we know this animal is not capable of doing this, then how did this animal make supplications and speak soft words then? Huh? Hold on now. Will he make a covenant with thee? Come on now. Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Well, we just looked at last week how he said with comfortable words and alluring words, he would allure you. But then he said, will he make a covenant with you? Will you take him for a servant forever? Matthew 26 and 18. Then let's see if he'll make a covenant with you. Let's see if you'll take him as a servant. Or did the Father take him as a servant? Let's just see now. Because I'm not sure this the Messiah then. Then hold on, let me reiterate this what we looked at 41. This just to deal with before we drop back down. To deal with the breath coming out of his mouth and the fire and all this stuff. Then he said, will the companions make a banquet of him? Y'all know what a banquet is, right? You know what I'm saying? Then he said, will they part him among the merchants? Or part him among the sellers? And he said, go with verse 17. Now the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Yahshua, saying unto him, where wilt thou that we prepare for thee to eat the Passover? And he said, go into the city to such a man and say unto him, the master saith, my time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at thy house with my disciples. And the disciples did as Yahshua had appointed them, and they made ready the Passover. Now when the even was come, he sat down with the 12. So it sounds like to me they making a banquet out of them, didn't it? And he said, shall the companions make a banquet of him? Verse 25, 26 then, we know who his companions is. That's the apostles. Let's see if they made a banquet of him. That means he asking, will your companions eat the Leviathan? Will they eat it? And as they were eating, Yahshua took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to the disciples and said, take, eat, this is my body. And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, drink ye all of it, for this is the blood, my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. So then he had also asked, will he make a covenant with you? He just made one with you. Who got power to make a covenant but God? Every time, it's only one time we can read in this book, well, directly off the top of my head, where we see two men. You see Jonathan and David making a covenant with each other. You know what I'm saying? Or a contract or an agreement. But when it pertains to things of everlasting, God made covenants with men. Now you just sat back and he asked Job, will this Leviathan, will it make a covenant with thee? And he turned around and did it. Because like you said, it's basically a sea serpent. And guess what? The Messiah became sin. We finna read it in a second. I guess, to be told, we already read it. When he told you, whose house I've made in the wilderness, and the barren lands his dwellings. How did he make his land wilderness then? Well, let's look at Exodus 17:1. You hold Job, Matthew, we good at Matthew 26. I'm going to come back to this last part about will thou take him for a servant forever. Let's come on back around here. Let's look at Exodus 17:1. Because he said, I will make him a wilderness. I'll make his dwelling a wilderness. That's tied back to what we looked at last week. You all right over there? Looking sick. They see you over there looking sick. I'm saying you might want to get out of camera shot with that boy. Yeah, better stand up then. Lay on the floor. All right now, when the people catch you, tell me, that nigga got slob in his mouth. I ain't going to stop him from laughing at you. Exodus 17:1. And the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of sin. And after their journeys, according to the commandment of Yah, and pitched in Rephidim, and there was no water for the people to drink. Now let's look at Job one more time. And what did he say he would make this man dwell in Job 39:6? Whose house I made the wilderness and the barren lands his dwellings. Well, we know in John chapter 2, what did he say? Destroy this house and I'll rebuild it in 3 days. He spake of the temple of his body. Well, we just been looking at how when he put on that scarlet robe, what did he become? He became sin. So when we look at as I made his house, I made the wilderness, we sitting back and seeing another testimony of Yahshua being made sin for us to remove sin. Which goes back to when we looked at months back about drinking that cup. And when you drink that cup, what would it end up doing? There you go. And when they drank that cup, what did it end up doing? He said in Yah's hand is a cup. And he gave it to the wicked, right? Well, Yahshua just drunk that cup. Psalm 75:8, because I guess y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Psalm 75:8. For in the hand of Yah there is a cup, and the wine is red, it is full of mixture. He pour out the same, but the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. So when Yahshua drank that cup, he literally became wicked. Not that he was wicked, but he took on wickedness. See, these niggas so dumb, they think you saying he wicked. No, we saying he took on wickedness. For you. That's the only way he could get rid of it, is he had to become it. So when we see he made his house a wilderness, he made his house sin. This man made him to be sin to remove sin. We look at 2 Corinthians 5 all the time. He became sin who knew no sin. That's what I'm sitting back telling you. That's a major responsibility to put on your shoulders. That's why he say a man wouldn't dare die for another, much less a righteous man dare die for one, much less a good one. You know what I'm saying? That's when you got to sit back and look at ain't nobody taking on no more. 1 Corinthians chapter 10. That's what I'm sitting here telling you, man. Ain't nobody giving up more than anybody else or bearing no more than anybody else. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 about verse 11. Make it about 12. 1 Corinthians 10 and 12. Everybody got to bear their own burden. After that, Galatians chapter 6. Wherefore, let him that think he stand take heed lest he fall. There is no temptation taking you, but such as common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able, but with the temptation also make a way to escape, that you may be able to bear it. Wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry. So you know when he's telling you that is, you know why he would say flee from idolatry right here? Flee from stubbornness. Because stubbornness is as sin and idolatry. Because when that temptation comes and you know what you're supposed to do and you go do what you want to do, you show that your God is your belly because you rebellious like Satan is. You stubborn. I'm going to do what I want to do. That man say he make a way for you to bear it. Even when the Lord was being tempted, he sent an angel to strengthen him. As I was explaining to the brothers before we got on the phone, before I called into the conference call to get service started. Y'all do know when Yahshua was in the flesh, there was a chance he could have sinned. Y'all do know that, right? You know that it was possible for him to sin. It was possible. He was in the flesh. That's why he told his disciples in Luke 22, you are with me who have been with me in my temptations. That's why the writer of Hebrews said he was behooved him to be made like unto his brethren, and he was tempted like as we are, yet without sin. So that means he would try. So that means there's no type of burden, no type of load that any of you niggas can say you got, or there's nothing that you could give up or you dealing with that any of you niggas can say that the Lord can't say, yeah, I dealt with that too. So what's your point? Exactly. So when you turn around and you look at that, ain't no reason to sit back looking at, I can't do this, I can't do that. See, that's how I know you carnal, because you're looking at what you can't do instead of looking at what you can do with God. When you sit back looking at, I feel like men give up more than women, that's how I know you carnal. I mean, women give up more than men, that's how I know you carnal. A spiritual-minded person wouldn't even think that way. They're going to be looking at, I'm giving up what's going to be beneficial to my soul. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't be realizing how you be showing you carnal just with statements you make. You know what I'm saying? Just with statements you make, just on actions, and then you see you still carnal. I ain't never sat and went back and thought, man, this person got to give up more than me. I didn't know I got to give up what I needed to give up. That's all I need to look at. I know everybody ain't the same. I got friends who were real live whoremongers when I was growing up. I wasn't one. So that wasn't the issue for me. You know what I'm saying? I like to smoke weed. I used to cuss like a sailor. You know what I'm saying? I know for some of y'all, faith is the issue. Faith ain't the issue for others. So y'all don't look at stuff like that, do it. Oh, I believe. No, you don't. No, you don't. You know what I'm saying? You don't have that supreme confidence in God like that, where you just don't possess it at this time. It may be growing, it may be budding, but you don't possess that supreme confidence that whatever happens according for the will of God, I'm going to do it. You ain't got that mind, let thy will be done. Not my will be done, but thy will be done. You ain't got that mind yet. You know what I'm saying? Because you still trying to fit like that nigga told me today, you ain't got no Hebraic thought. I don't want no Hebraic thought. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, I'm going to show you what thought I want. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 50. It's all right. Now, Hebraic thought ain't just killed the Messiah. Hebraic thought just had him being niggas before the man even came. See, Hebraic thought ain't what killed the Messiah. Unbelief is what killed him. You know what I'm saying? That's what killed him. Because they wouldn't walk around talking about see brother in the Hebrew. This is what their word mean. They didn't have no need to do that. They were already speaking it. But the natural man received not, he said, but the natural man received not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. He that is spiritual judge all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. For who have known the mind of the Lord, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of the Messiah. That's the mind I want. That's the thought process I want. Let this mind be in you. The same mind that was in the Messiah Yahshua, who thought it not robbery to make himself equal with God. Well, Adam most certainly didn't think it was robbery with him to be made equal with God. Because in all things, Adam was equal with it. He didn't think he was taking nothing from God on that. Come on back over here to Job 41. Listen, you can't get up here right now, Tizzy Lizzy. I'm finna get ready to let y'all go in a minute. You can't get up here, Tizzy Lizzy. Tizzy. Tizzy. So when we look at this here, when he said, by his neesings a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning, out of his mouth go burning lamps, sparks of fire leap out, and his breath kindle coals, and flame go out his mouth. Isaiah chapter 11. After Isaiah chapter 11, bring me that, Tizzy Lizzy. After Isaiah chapter 11, give me 2 Peter chapter 3. That really made you happy to hand me that highlighter, didn't it, there, Tizzy Lizzy? She got food in her stomach. She happy now. Isaiah chapter 11, verse 4. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. He shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. Well, we just heard that the breath of this man's lips gonna have fire in it. He said Leviathan got fire in his lip, burning coal. He just said with the breath of his lips, he shall slay the wicked. So you know what he gonna slay him with? Because we know that breath will be the Ruach HaKodesh. He gonna slay him with the word. Look at Hebrews chapter 12. He gonna slay him with the word. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 26. Make it 25. Man, this stuff easy money, man. These people just retarded. We gotta sit back and look at, we gotta be right for this man come back and slay us with his words. Man told you the words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. Man say, I'm going to slay you with my breath. He breathed on the disciples and said, receive ye the Ruach HaKodesh. I'm going to slay you with the word, nigga. The same word you reject will be the same word that judge you in the last day. That's what he told you in John chapter 12. The same word you reject. The same words I speak unto you going to judge you in the last day. I'm going to slay you with the breath of my word, because these words fire, nigga. Not the fire you thinking about. He's saying when they come, they're going to try your work to see what sort of it is. Whether you're going to abide or whether you're going to perish. No, baptism of fire is something totally different. Baptism of fire meaning you being tried in the furnace of affliction to come out pure on the other side. We talking about when he come back, just like Samson put that firebrand in the midst of them two foxes. He sat back and burnt up all their stuff. Tried what manner of work they were. Their manner was to kill the people. They were sinners. You know what I'm saying? These sinners. So when he come back with that fire slaying you with the breath of his lip, we going to see what manner of work it is. Because if you on God's side, you going to stand. But if not, you going to be burnt up, nigga. You going to perish. You know what I'm saying? That's what these people, ain't nobody telling nobody this. Nigga, you going to die. Hebrews 12 and 25. See ye that you refuse not him that speak. For if they escape not who refused him that spake on earth, much more shall we not escape if we turn away from him that speak from heaven. Because the Messiah coming back from heaven gonna slay you with the breath of his lip. He come back with that word now. Whose voice then shook the earth, but now he had promised, saying, yet once more I shake not the earth only, but also heaven. And this word yet once more signify the removing of those things that are shaken, as of the things that are made, that those things which cannot be shaken may remain. Wherefore we receiving a kingdom which cannot be moved, let us have grace, whereby we may serve God with acceptably, with reverence and godly fear. For our God is a consuming fire. If he a consuming fire, that means he coming to burn you up when he get here tonight. So what's up? So if you're pure, the fire ain't gonna consume you. He said your faith is more precious than gold when it's tried in the fire. You know, you put some gold in the fire, it's coming out pure. So you would have already been made pure when the man got here. So when the breath of his lips come, it ain't gonna slay you. 2 Peter chapter 2. That's why we got to bring this stuff back to your remembrance. Adam had that judgment. He gave Adam all that rule over everything. I got rule over everything. That means I got rule to make judgment. I'm a shot caller. I got dominion. If I say it, that's what it is. If I tell that animal to go, he go. I gave him his name. When I call his name, he answered me. I say, come here, elk. That elk coming. Come here, rhino. That rhino coming. Come on now. Y'all all right? Second Peter chapter 3, verse 9. Make it 10. Make it 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long-suffering to us ward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with great noise, the elements shall melt with fervent heat, the earth also, and the works that therein shall be burnt up. The works that them people had when Samson put that firebrand in the midst of them two foxes, it burnt up. All they works. Burnt up everything. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all Kodesh behavior and godliness? Seeing that just like Samson burnt all these people's stuff up, seeing the same way the Lord coming back to burn you up with them coals that coming out of their mouth, how you ought to be set apart in everything you do. That means you all got to stop being so carnal and looking at stuff in such a retarded mind frame. Stop thinking like niggas all the time. Stop trying to impress niggas. Stop trying to get people to think you good this and you good that. And try to impress God instead. Got no business around here trying to impress no sinners. Man, when that nigga on the phone with me today, he like this. I told you, nigga, I don't care what you think about me, man. Some of y'all done heard me telling me, I don't care what you niggas think about me. I ain't trying to impress none of you niggas. Before the word, I wasn't trying to impress no nigga. Because I didn't care. I ain't never cared what a nigga thought about me. I ain't never, you know what I used to tell a nigga come say, yeah, man, such and such said this about you. Nigga, I don't care what you telling me for. I ain't never thought, well, why they felt comfortable enough to say it to you. I don't even care why they felt comfortable enough to say it to you. I don't even care what they said. And you know what I'm saying? It ain't even about them talking. It was about I was so secure and confident of who I was as a man at 20 years old, 19 years old, 18 years old, 17 years old, 16 years old. I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Man, my mama them taught me, man, my mama, my auntie, they taught me that you shouldn't seek validation from outside people, that you should be loved and be comfortable enough with yourself. Be confident with yourself. When you love and you confident with yourself, it don't matter what a nigga got to say about you. It don't matter what a nigga think about you. You know what I'm saying? I was raised like that. I was taught that. And some of it was instinct. I ain't never cared what a nigga thought about me. If I sit around and I waste my time by how a nigga view me or think about me, my life ain't never gonna be right because I'm always gonna be moving myself based on other people's thought process and viewpoint of me. You know what I'm saying? I can't be nobody but me. That's all I can be. I can't be who a nigga want me to be. Because then that wouldn't be me. I am who I am. I will be who I be. You don't like it, you ain't got to be my friend. You ain't got to talk to me. If a woman come up dealing with me, she don't like who I am, well, you need to do this here. I ain't the man for you then. Because I am who I am. And I'm confident with myself. And I used to tell the smoker when they come, oh man, I can go to such and such and he'll give me 600-400. Going on around there. My dope gonna sell whether you buy it or not. I don't care. I'm telling you, I done told plenty of smokers this. Oh, such and such will give me 8 for the 100. Well, then you need to go talk to such and such then. Women come tell me, I got a man that'll do this here. You need to go find that nigga then. Then woman tell me one time, I know niggas who blow booty. Well, go find them niggas and get them to blow your booty because I ain't going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I know a woman. Oh, he'll. Oh, such and such to get my hair and my nail done. Well, you need to holler at him, cause I ain't paying to get it done. I feel like Paul. Go get a job if you want to be rich. I'm not finna pay for it. You ain't none of my wife. What I look like getting a woman hair done? I ain't married to her. That was retarded to me. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. I ain't play them type of game. That's my girlfriend, so I'm gonna get her hair done and her nail done. She better go get a job, nigga. You ain't paying me for to get no haircut. I like pedicures, nigga. Why you ain't buying me that? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't play them type of game. Boy, I don't live like that. And if you want to go, you can go. Because I'm confident in myself. It's somebody love me. It's somebody want me. Obviously, you ain't the one if that's all it took for you to leave. I'm good. Peace out. I'm talking about young nigga, too. You know what I'm saying? Ain't even hit 24 yet. I'm talking about I'm 20 thinking like this. 19 thinking like this. I could care less. Man, I was dating this girl, man, she was driving me crazy. I was 19 years old. Nigga, I worked with that lead chicken like, man, you know where your old lady at? I'm like, no. You know who she with? No. And what you care then? I look at the nigga, I don't care. She just getting on my nerves, bro. This ain't got nothing to do with me worrying about who she with and what she doing. If she juggling 3 penises in her mouth, ain't nothing I can do about that. And I ain't finna be pulling my hair out wondering who she with and who she talking to and what she doing. If I gotta do all that there, that ain't somebody I need to be with. That's how I'm dead serious. If I got to be worrying about what you doing, I'm not messing with you. If I got to be checking behind you about what you doing, I ain't messing with you. See, I ain't no jealous nigga. I know some of y'all on here, y'all real jealous. I don't want him talking to no man. I don't want her talking to no woman. I feel like this here. If you can take her, take that stinking hoe with you. She wasn't mine anyway. That's less trouble off my back. Take her stinking behind with you. Straight up and down. That's how I felt. Still feel that way. Take her with you. If a nigga can take somebody from you, that mean they was never yours. Take them with you. I ain't no jealous dude. How many of y'all on here feel like y'all jealous individual? You'll just go crazy. You see your woman talking to somebody. I know none of you men women can't say nothing. You can text it if you want. I know some of y'all jealous. Some of y'all ain't gonna come out and say it, but I know some of you women jealous. I already know that. I ain't no jealous type of man. I ain't no jealous type of dude. Like, I ain't gonna go crazy and nigga say something to you. Or do this, that, there, and the other. I'm gonna look at it. If you with me, a nigga can't take you. If a nigga can say something to you and he can take you, that means you was never mine and you go around there with him, you stay with him. Because ain't no coming back in. Once the door shuts, you good. You can't come back in the house now. When the door slam in your face, I'm done with you. Once you leave, I'm done. Nigga take you from me, you can't never come back. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna live my life like that, worrying about what a woman doing and who she with. No, man. I would talk better than that. I would school better than that. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about niggas in the street taught me better than that. About now, you ain't got no business worrying about what a woman doing, where she at. Now, it's a whole nother story. That's your wife, though. You got a right to be jealous about your wife. But if you want to play the hoe, I get your stinking butt out my house, though. You can play the hoe outside of here. You got to go. I don't play them type of game. Yeah. Yeah, if she want to hoe, I'm going to let you go. Because I don't play them type of game. I don't chase behind no woman, man. Not like that there. Worry about what she doing and who she with and where she going. I don't live my life like that. I ain't chasing behind no woman like this here. Where you going at? Who that is you on the phone with? No. I ain't going to do that. I mean, I ain't a man no more. I ain't a man no more. I've been neutered. I've been spayed, whichever one it for, man. I bet my nuts gone. I done had a hysterectomy. You know what I'm saying? Might as well. And the same way go for you women. You ain't got no business, man. If you got to be worrying about who a man talking to, who he with, what he doing, that ain't nobody you need to be with. You ain't got no business around here worrying about what a man doing, who he with. That ain't even somebody you need to be with if you worry about somebody can take him from you. That means he ain't with it, and you know he ain't with you if you worry about it. It go both ways now. But at the same time, if he love you, could nobody take you from him? Take him from you no way. 17 women could get butt boogie naked in front of him. He'll walk all the way right past. Cause I got somebody. Obviously, vagina wouldn't be I got vagina at home. So that can't be a reason. Can't nobody take somebody away from somebody if that's where they want to be. You know what I'm saying? You got to sit back and look at something. It wasn't a force on the earth that could take the Lord away from us, because Israel is where he wanted to be. That's where he wanted to be. See, we didn't want to be there. That's why we were chasing after other gods and opening our feet to everybody that passed by. But Israel is where the Lord wanted to dwell. So what did he do? He made his house a wilderness. He made himself become sin and suffered for your sins so he could take it wide, because that's where he wanted to be. And that goes back to what we looked at about a week ago about he that covered transgression seek love, because he did that so you would love him, because that's where he wanted to be. So you got to ask yourself, when it comes to the Lord, why the Lord got to chase you down to get you to do what you're supposed to do? Why should I have to chase you down to say, hey, man, you know we like to see you know service coming, you know the feast coming. Should nobody have to chase you down to do that, because it should be where you want to be. It should be what you want to do. That's what it should be. You know what I'm saying? See, you know, and with some of y'all, you know, I'll give you a reminder from time to time. Sometimes I don't. Because I shouldn't have to tell grown people what to do or when something going down, because it should be where you want to be. So you got to sit back and look at with the Lord. Should the Lord have to chase you down and wonder where you at and what you doing? That means somebody can take you from him. Take you from him. That means that could be your family, your friends, your jobs, the things you lusting after, school, whatever it might be. These things taking you away from God. So that means you actually love them more than you love him. It's the same thing when you're looking at a relationship. Can't nobody take you away from somewhere you want to be. So if you find your family, your friends, your jobs, your schooling, whatever it is you got going on, jewelry, you know what I'm saying, makeup, Nike tennis shoe, whatever the case may be, you mean to tell me these things can take you away from somebody you say you love? That means obviously you don't love them. Because there was no way, it's not a single solitary woman can take me away from Nicole. The only person can do that is Nicole. That's the only person who can do it. Ain't a woman walking can sit back and be like, I bet I can take him from her. No, you can't do it. It's impossible. There's absolutely nothing you could do to make that happen. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up, I'm dead serious. And a nigga could try me if they want to, and I will shame you in front of everybody. I ain't talking about just any of y'all, talking about period. There is absolutely nothing any woman on this earth can do to separate me from that woman. I done told her this, Nicole, this herself. The only woman who can do that is her. Can't no other woman do it. You know what I'm saying? Can't no other woman do it. She the only one can do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if any of you women done had a man tell you that, but you supposed to know if a man tell you that, then you supposed to have supreme enough confidence to know he with me. Because man just sat back and told him, can't nobody do it, only I can do it. So that means no booty, no titties, no money, no nothing a woman got. That wouldn't influence me. Because that ain't where I don't want to be there. If I wanted to be somewhere else, I would have never dealt with a woman in the first place. When we look at the Lord, if he wanted to deal with another people, he would have chose another people. He wouldn't have chose you. Isaiah 65:1, since I said it. I know you be like, man, this nigga going. I'm still mentioning word till you stop, Lizzie. I'm trying to get y'all to sit back and understand how your mind frame works. Isaiah 65:1. Absolutely. He said, I am sought of them that ask not for me. I am found of them that sought me not. I said, behold me unto a nation that was not called by my name. Romans chapter 9. This man said, man, looking at, there's some people I ain't even married to. I don't even want running after me. But I'm spreading my hands all the day to a rebellious people. They giving me their butt to kiss. But you know that got to be something when you begging your woman, you begging your man to do something with this taking. We're going to have to take a man talking to a woman. You trying to get your woman to hear this and hear that, and it's another woman in your face that you ain't even seeking after, that ain't even got your name attached to them, and they willing to do what your woman won't do. The whole time while you pleading for her to come on home and do right. That's rough right there. Y'all don't know the mercy of God right there. That's the mercy of God right there. Right there, he take a bite. Then he said, I got some people seeking after me and you niggas give me your butt to kiss. He said, I'm spreading my hands out to you all the day. All the day. He said, but you rather sacrifice to idols, eating swine flesh, dwelling in graves, dwelling with sinners and dead people. Got to be crazy. Romans chapter 9, verse 29. I'm telling you, I done told you, boy, I got supreme confidence in God. Boy, I ain't had nowhere to lay my head at, boy, and I still had supreme confidence in God. Paul said, we ain't got no certain dwelling place. That stuff don't affect me. No peril, no nakedness, no sword, no death, no tribulation. Ain't none of that stuff moving me. See, some of that stuff, it move you niggas. I don't want to be single. Oh, I got to do this right here. Man, nigga, who so what? At the end of the day, so what? What you gonna do about it? That mean when you sit there and you talking about all these things you got to deal with, that mean these things will push you off from what you doing. That mean you're weak in your own mind. You got to be strong. You know what I'm talking about? What you think that statement always be doing, the strong survive? You got to be mentally tough. How you think a nigga was able to survive in prison? You got to be mentally tough to survive in prison. See, a lot of y'all think to survive in prison, you got to be physically dominant. You got to be mentally tough. Prison meant to weigh on your brain. Same way the military is, brainwash you and make you stupid, make you mentally weak. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a strong mind. When you're dealing with coming with serve God, you got to know tribulation and troubles will come. That man say, in the world you'll have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I've overcome the world. That means you're going to have some trouble. But if you got confidence in God, you know it get better in the end. But you got to be willing. If you knew what was going to be at the end of the tunnel, it wouldn't be fake. We just looked at it. If a man didn't know, if he can see it before it comes, then why he hope for it? But if he can't see it, then with patience he wait for it. Because hope make not ashamed. You won't be ashamed trusting in God. You just got to endure. Yahshua wasn't ashamed for having hope in God. He endured the cross. And he sat down at the right hand of God because he did. Despised the shame and endured the cross. And y'all fainting in your mind, ain't man one of y'all strove against shed blood to not sin. Niggas around here falling out faith. Get your stinking behind up and stand on your own 2 feet and be a man. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. Where is your confidence in God at? Man, I thank the Lord. Man, I'm talking about off the rip. You know what I'm saying? I had confidence in this man. Off the rip. This man is able to subdue all things under his feet. It says, anything too hard for me? Ain't nothing too hard for this man. This man said, I'll take a beggar from the dunghill and set him with princes and let him reign on thrones. Say it ain't nothing for me to take a poor man and make him rich. Calm down, Tizzy. Romans 9 and 29. And as Isaiah said before, except the Lord of the Sabbath had left us a seed, we had been as Sodom and been laid like unto Gomorrah. What shall we say then? That the Gentiles which follow not after righteousness have attained to righteousness, even the righteousness which is of faith? But Israel followed after the law of righteousness and have not attained to the law of righteousness. And this is what I be telling y'all. This is what I be telling y'all. These Gentiles coming in and they hearing the preaching of the Son and they believe. But see, you Israelites is like this here, law. And while you talking about law, you ain't attained to Genesis chapter 15, verse 6. And he believed y'all and he counted to him for righteousness because you thought you were going to get their righteousness from the law. But you wasn't going to get it from that. Listen what he took it. Wherefore, because they sought it not by faith, but as it were by works of the law, for they stumbled at the stumbling stone. As it is written, behold, I lay in Zion a stumbling stone, a rock of offense. Whosoever believe on him shall not be ashamed. He sat back and told you, I put the sun right here, right in the midst. That firebrand, that stone, that sure foundation that no man could build upon but that one. And he said, that'll cause you nigga to fall. But whichever one of y'all believe on him, you're not going to be ashamed. You're not going to be ashamed. So that means, guess what? Nigga sit back. Boy, that nigga struggling. You just got to be patient. What's wrong with people? You ain't got no patience. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. You ain't got no patience. The book say repeatedly, wait on Yah. Listen. Don't come in here with that. can't hold you right now, Tizzy Lizzie. Wherefore, seeing we are also compassed about with so great cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. That means you got to sit back and lay it. Y'all got a lot of stuff holding y'all down. And you won't lay it to the side. And that's why you easily set back. And you ain't got no patience. Because you won't just know why I'm going through what I'm going through. Instead of sitting back and seeing what God trying to teach you. Come here, Tizzy Lizzie, bring it here. Instead of seeing what God trying to teach you. Whatever y'all dealing with, whatever y'all going through, the man trying to teach you something. But you're so worried about, you're so inclined that you want it to be over. You go bring it here, Lizzie. You're so inclined that you want it to be over, you're gonna miss what he's trying to teach you. Where your faith actually could be increased. Bring it here, Stanks. Bring it here, Stanks. Thank you. Y'all hear me? Get ready to let me get ready to let y'all go in a minute. Come on back over here to Job. Let's clean all this stuff up in Job so we can get on out of here. And clean up that tree in Genesis chapter 1. We get on out of here. It's like this here, man. You got to have that confidence. I'm leading up to something else because I keep telling y'all to talk about it. But you know the book say that. The just shall live by his faith. That's what made, you notice he said the just shall live by his faith. So in turn, what will make you just is actually living by your faith. Going by faith is by without works is dead. Because you will believe, you would live by that faith that you have in the Son of God because he gave his life for you. Therefore, you would live for him now. But the only way you can have faith in the man is when you heard of him and you believe that and you seen the confidence that he had in his Father. Therefore, you would have that same confidence in the Messiah. That's why he said, if you believe in God, believe in me. Don't let your heart be troubled. But y'all don't hear me though. That's why a lot of times the Lord don't do nothing for some of y'all because you're unbelieving, your heart too hard. So when we look at Job 39 and 7, we already seen how he made his place, his house, the wilderness, and barren land his dwellings. And he say he scorned the multitude of the city, neither regard the crying of the driver. The range of the mountain is his pasture, and he searched after every green thing. Well, let's sit back. We're going to see how the range of the mountain is his pasture. We still got to show you how he parted them among the merchants. We also looked at another thing of talking about how he broke something. I can't remember. It's escaped my mind where we read it at, but the Lord will bring it back to my remembrance. But when we sat back and we looked at that, we went to Samson about the firebrands. What we were going to Samson was when they put the bands on Samson's hands, the Ruach HaKodesh snapped them, which was going back to Yahshua when he said that he loosed the pains of death because it wasn't possible that he could be held of it, right? Now, when we turn back around, let's look at Romans chapter 8 and about verse 1. Now, when we turn back around and he sit back and he say he break these bands, this is what the Messiah came to do for us. Listen to what Paul say. And I also mentioned Galatians chapter 6. We're going to get to that too about them burdens. I thank the Lord. Y'all all right? Yes. He says, therefore, there is therefore now no condemnation to them which are the Messiah Yahshua, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. See, it was condemnation with Adam because he was flesh. He wasn't spirit. Y'all see that? He said, if you eat of that tree, you shall surely die. He walked after the flesh. He was not spirit. He made it from the dust of the earth. He was not spirit. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Genesis chapter 6. I ain't even get to Genesis 5. I'm going to show your son what this stupid nigga said to me. And I need to show y'all how he made Noah God too while I'm at it. And I'll sit back and show you how he going to make us gods. And that's how we going to get out of here. If the Lord permit. If the Lord permit. Genesis chapter 6. Genesis chapter 6 verse 4. I'm going to show you what this stupid, retarded, ignorant nigga said to me today. Matter of fact, Genesis chapter 1. Genesis 6 and 1. He was old, ignorant, stupid nigga. Nigga told me he ain't been in the word but a year. I ain't that versed in the scriptures. So I say, so you don't know what you talking about then. I ain't gonna say that. If you tell me you ain't well versed in something, that means you don't know what you talking about. If I come up and tell you and say, hey man, I'm working on a transmission, I'm not well versed in the workings of transmissions. That means I have no idea what I'm doing. Straight up. Straight up. So if you tell me I ain't well versed in the scriptures, I'm going to let you work on my soul. Yeah. It's saying it came to pass when men began to multiply upon the face of the earth, daughters were born unto them. The sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took to them wives of all which they chose. Now, who are the sons of God here, gentlemen? Huh? That would be Seth's seed, or the sons of Adam. Sons of Adam, because remember, we done already looked at this before. It just ain't on tape. Let's look at Genesis 5 and 3. And Adam lived 130 years and begat a son in his own likeness after his image and called his name Seth. Well, we already read where Yahshua was made in his image. We already read it said that Adam was made in the likeness and image of God, which means he was God. He gave him dominion to rule as God. And now you see Seth is in that exact image and likeness, which means Seth would be the son of God. So when we see the sons of God seeing the daughters of men, we actually see spiritual men are mingling with fleshly people. That's where 2 Corinthians 6 and 14 will come into play. Don't be unequally yoked with unbelievers. What fellowship have light with darkness? What communion had the Messiah with Belial? Let's see what happened when they mingle with these people. Verse 2. And Yah said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Now these niggas say these angels. So why would this man say my spirit not gonna strive with man and man is flesh? Ain't no angel flesh. Let's look and see in Hebrews chapter 1. Hold this Genesis chapter 6. Let's just see if angels are flesh or they spirit. Hebrews 1 and 6. Nigga getting mad at me. I'm like, nigga, this is what I do. I literally preach the word. What is you talking about, nigga? You say you a novice. I say, hey, I'm a little nice with this, you know what I'm saying? I can do a little something, you know. I can come out and get you 25 a night, you know what I'm saying? Good night. We might could bump it up to 30 if need be. He say again, when he bring the first begotten into the world, he saith, and let all the angels of God worship him. And the angels, he saith, who make his angels spirits and ministers of flame of fire. So that means he wasn't striving with no angels now, was he? Now come on back to Genesis chapter 6. Look at verse 11. He talking about that Sethite doctrine come from the Roman Catholic Church. I say, nigga, I don't care where it come from. I ain't get it from them. I ain't never heard it from them. I got it from God. Shoot. He ain't got no day job. His day job is to sit around twiddling his thumb, making stupid remarks. I'm not a religious Hebrew. Say I don't like talking to religious Hebrews. I say I don't like talking to stupid niggas, but I got to do it. Look at Genesis 6 and 10. Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And the earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Now he say flesh corrupted it. Did it say angels did it? Look at Romans chapter 8 again, about verse 5. So that means, I asked the nigga a question, and he didn't answer it. I say, so if angels corrupted the earth, I say, wouldn't that make God unjust if he killed all men and not the angels? He said, I say, why wouldn't God just kill the angels? Why would he kill everybody if it was angels that were corrupting the earth? He said flesh did it. He didn't say man, he didn't say angels did it. He said flesh did it. Romans 8 and 5. For they that are of the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, and they that are after spirit, the things of the spirit. For to be carnally minded is death. You see that tied back to the law. They were carnally minded. They died. But to be spiritually minded is life and peace, because the carnal mind is enmity against God, for it's not subject to the law of God, neither indeed can be. So they then that are in the flesh cannot please God. You see that Noah got life and peace because he was spiritual minded. Because we didn't read the verse before that said he was a just man, perfect in his generation. That means he was a spiritual man. Therefore, he got life and peace. He got the ark. He was spared. He had peace. How they don't know that? How they can't tie this stuff in? What's wrong with them? Somebody, I told a nigga, if you don't get your mind right, you going to hell. You condemning me. You condemning yourself, nigga. You condemning yourself, nigga. Let's see how he made Noah God in Romans chapter 9. We're going to get to this tree. If we don't get to this tree, we might get to it on the Sabbath. I got to get ready to let y'all go. It's already 9:15. I done went over my time. He might got a day job. You know what I'm saying? But this ain't it. Genesis chapter 9, verse 1. Let's tie back into that fire. But God blessed Noah. Hold on. Okay. But God blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. I'm going to show you how this tied to the Messiah too, how he blessed Yahshua, because Noah means comfort. How he blessed Yahshua and his son and told them to go replenish the earth. Hold on. Ain't that's what he told Adam to do too? Be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth, right? And the fear of you, and the fear of you, and the fear of you, and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, and upon all that move upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hands are they delivered. He just gave him everything he gave Adam then, didn't he? Well, that means Noah is God then. It make even more sense because we know what Noah's name means. I comfort the ground which God hath cursed. Who else came to do that but God? Every moving thing that lives shall be meat for you, even as the green herb I have given you all things. But flesh with, but flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall you not eat. Why you think they ate bread when the man told you you'll eat my flesh? You didn't eat his blood. He told you eat his flesh. You sit back and you see he telling Noah, I've given you flesh to eat. I'm giving you flesh to eat. Flesh with the life thereof. Eat, this is my body. He said, my flesh is meat indeed. Oh, man. Now, we just sat back and looked and said, yeah, the word was made flesh, and it was meat indeed. And it was meat indeed. Ain't that something? Now let's sit back and look at it, right? He said, I'm going to multiply your sons. I bless them. It also goes that he says in Job 41 to tie that up, to make that all nice and neat and clean that up, what we read in Job 41, when he said, shall they part him among the merchants? Matthew 28. Matthew 28. Get ready to let y'all go. I just thank the Lord for the word. Matthew 28 and 18. Didn't he just say all power was given to Noah, right? All power was given to Adam too, right? Matthew 28 and 18. And Yahshua came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. Oh, man. Just like Adam, right? Just like Noah, right? Go ye therefore and teach all nations. So now he's parting them among them. He just gave the bread to the merchants so they could parcel it out. Remember, buy the truth and sell it not. They say you got to go to them that buy. You got to go to Joseph. He got the corn. He the one selling it. Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and of the Ruach HaKodesh, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. Let's see how God blessed them. You just seen he told them to go do this. Let's look at Luke chapter 24. Let's see how God blessed them. Luke 24 and 46. After we look at Luke 24 and 46, I got one more place on this topic. It'll be John chapter 15. And he said unto them, thus it is written, and thus it behooved the Messiah to suffer and to rise from the dead the third day. And repentance and remission of sins should be preached in his name among all nations, beginning at Jerusalem. You are witnesses of these things. And behold, I send the promise of my Father upon you. He blessed them, because the Spirit was already upon Noah, and now he just put it on his sons. But tarry ye in the city of Jerusalem until you be endued with power from on high. Then he told them to be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. Just like he told Adam, we're going to wait on that tree. I'm going to hold that tree. John chapter 15, verse 15. I'm going to hold that tree. After that, Matthew 13, 47. I got to let y'all go. I can't keep it too long. I'm going to hold that tree. I got something for that tree. John 15 and 15. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant know not what his Lord do. But I've called you friends, for all things that I've heard of my Father, I've made known unto you. You have not chosen me. Ain't nobody choose Adam. Adam didn't choose y'all, nor did Noah choose y'all. He said, but I've chosen you and ordained you. He appointed Adam. He appointed Noah. That you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain. That whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name, that he may give it to you. So if the disciples are going to preach the word, ain't they bearing fruit to replenish the earth with other sons of God? It would make sense that he would tell Adam, be fruitful and multiply, to bring forth more sons of God. It would make sense he would tell Noah to be fruitful and multiply, to bring forth more sons of God. So it would make more sense that Yahshua would come tell his disciples, bear fruit, which means go make more sons of God. And who else gonna have power to be able to make sons of God but God? Hold on. Nah, we good. I'm going to save it to the Sabbath. Matthew 13, 47. I'm going to save it for the Sabbath. Give you something to think on. Matthew 13, 47. And again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net that was cast into the sea and gathered of every kind, which was when it was full, they drew to shore and sat down and gathered the good in the vessels, but cast the bad away. So shall it be at the end of the world. The angels shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just, just like you've seen with Noah. And shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Yahshua said unto them, have you understood all these things? Y'all understood all these things? They say unto him, yea, Lord. Then he said unto them, therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is a householder, which bring forth out of his treasure things new and old. Praise ye, y'all, for Yahshua HaMashiach in the word. I thank the Lord.